Holy, hey, great morning to you. Great Monday to you for the 25th of, coming up the last week of February of 2019. That was a holy crap fast month, didn't you think? The only, that's it, 2 months down. Is it me? Am I moving that slowly or that fast? I don't think I'm moving that fast. That's a fast month. Yeah, I know it's the shortest month. Yeah, I know, I get that. First thing for you is this. Holy, hang on to your hat, Batman. How many friends out there through New York and the Northeast had a batten down the hatches last night? Whoa, that was some wins. Holy, hang on to your hat, Batman. Wow. So a couple weeks ago, we had part of our fence. We have a common fence with the complex next to us, and that part of it blew down because of wind. And last night, I'm thinking, when am I going to hear that? And that whole thing's going to blast apart. And then that's not bad enough because the wind was blowing. They're expecting, a million miles an hour wind. We hit up to like 50 miles an hour, 45 miles an hour, something like that. But they have a cat coming to not like it's not there all the time, but one of our cats comes into our bedroom and doing that, just on something at 1:30, 1:45, 2 o'clock. I'm getting up, throwing something at it. Cats. So we got that. Yeah. So let's get into this. Cancer and autoimmune disease. What do they have in common? What do cancer and autoimmune diseases have in common? And this is the crazy part for you. The demographics aren't necessarily the same. It might be a little bit the same, but that's not what we're looking for. Mark the Spark. Hey, Alan Laurie. Mark the Spark. We're looking at a week from Friday, man. Playing at Cortland Beer. You got Boy Wonder and the Boy Wonders playing at 8 o'clock. Just for you, by the way, for you. Our band goes on at 8 o'clock just for you so you can be home tucked in bed early. I know you're not going to be, because you're going to stay for the whole night. But what do cancer and autoimmune disease have in common? Yeah, they're diseases that you get. Yeah, and by the way, you don't get diseases. You don't get cancer. It's not like you're walking past the store one day and all of a sudden, kabam, cancer hits you. That doesn't happen that way. Oh, I don't want to do that. You don't walk past it and all of a sudden, it's kind of like a heart attack. What is that? That's not even close. That's craziness. I'm trying to write something for you, but I am unable. There you go. Hey, something else cool is I learned how to take these Facebook Lives, and then put them on my Facebook channel, my YouTube channel. So now you're going to be able to go through and look at them all. I'm going to start pasting them from here over there and have that done on the same day. Kind of cool stuff. Technology, man. Technology. Yeah, you grow cancer. You have set a fertile ground for cancer to grow. I talked about this a little while ago about you growing tomatoes out in the backyard. First of all, you got to have the seed for tomato. Then you got to be able to throw them in the ground. But if you throw them on concrete, they don't grow. You throw them on fertile soil, they grow. And then you have to tend them. That's the funny thing about it. So you actually have to allow that cancer to grow. And the same thing with autoimmune diseases. Why do I bring autoimmune diseases up? Hi, Terry Summerall Woodford. God bless you, my young child. Great to see you yesterday, and not so great to see you yesterday. And the autoimmune is wild. Autoimmune is wild. Your body does not recognize your body. Here's the funny thing about cancer. You have had cancer a number of times, hundreds, if not thousands of times. We're going to be rocking this morning, by the way, because it was terrible storms. People are going to be rocking. You've had cancer. You have cancer. thousands, hundreds, if not thousands of times in your life. If we went through cell by cell in your body every single day, remember on Star Trek, the tricorder? Hello, Kimberly. I'm going to go sidestep for you right now. If you don't do meditations, you should come to our office twice a month and do our meditations on Saturdays with Kimberly. For the people who tell me they can't meditate because they don't know how, this is exactly why we do it. Because this is why we do meditations for people who don't know how to do it. You're looking at one right now. The meditations are awesome. It starts your whole day off. Great. Email me, message me. We'll get you set up for those. $10 a month. But the cancers, if we went cell by cell in your body with that Star Trek, that tricorder, we would find abnormal cells, cancer or precancer cells, every single day, probably every single day. And the question always is, how can we not ravage with cancer every single day? Because your body goes, finds it, takes its picture, and kicks its ass, and then takes it over to the who's gal. And for the people who don't know what who's gal means, that means a local jail. The who's gal. And that's the crazy part. Your body does that on a regular basis. But all of a sudden, your body does not recognize that that's a bad guy anymore. Although it's done that hundreds, if not thousands of times, hundreds of thousands of times during your whole life, from maybe from infancy on. Your body doesn't recognize it anymore. What went wrong? What kind of communication in you? This is the key point. This is the really key point, is what kind of communication in you was wrong to allow that to happen. And why did cancer happen in you in that one organ versus that organ versus why not on your leg? I don't know. And that's the wild part. What kind of miscommunication happened in you? That's why I'm reading that book, Radical Remissions, about the people all over the earth who have been diagnosed with cancers, and they say, I'm not going to follow that treatment plan, or I'm going to do this, and they no longer have it. That's the wild stuff. And autoimmune diseases, these two things fascinate me. And that's why we scan your nervous systems on a regular basis. And if you haven't had your nervous system scanned in a while, ask Darlene. We'll get that stuff for you immediately on your next adjustment. But autoimmune, your body doesn't recognize your body. And if you listen to this before, that makes no sense to me whatsoever. Whatsoever does that make any sense to me? That your body no longer recognizes your body. It's like this. What is this? What? I have no idea what this is. How bizarre would that be? You look down, coming from your pelvis is this thing that has a shoe on it. You don't know what that is? That's what happens to your body in autoimmune diseases. By the way, it's not an immune system problem. It's not an immune system problem. It's a communication problem inside of you, a communication problem. You're making a bad cell phone call. My office, we're experts at this. That experts is getting your communication better. If your body doesn't communicate with itself well, you can't. Therefore, then you can't communicate well with other people. Wild stuff. So how do you dig your way out? How do you dig your way out of this? There's a commonality to all health, by the way. I read a lot of books on, you look at my friend Eric Plasker's 100-Year Lifestyle. You look at the newest stuff by, I forget his name, but he talks about prolonging longevity, prolonging life. You hear about me talking about longevity. There's a commonality to all of it. It really is not difficult. It's you do this. You do these things, you do them every day, or as close to every day as you can. It ain't rocket surgery. And yet, my brother Rick, I'm saying rocket surgery. One is you got to have these guys. You got to have the optimized nervous system. It's the one that everybody misses because they don't think about it. They take it for granted. Once again, if your nervous system was here, you'd be taken care of every single day, but you don't because you don't see it. You got to have rocket fuel, not just the things you like to eat. You got to have rocket fuel. You got to have motion. You got to get bodies. Your body learns by moving. And mindfulness. You got to have a way to actually decrease the stresses going on. In my office, we do meditations. We are recommending our practice members to do meditations. Some people pray. Some people do journaling. Some people do different, some people have girlfriends or guy friends or that they go hang out with and just be able to download with them. I do this. Here's one big one. You got to have a reason to live. You have to have a reason to get up every single morning and say, let's go. Let's go one more time. And what's the number one reason why retired men die so quickly into retirement? Purpose. They've lost their purpose. We've been told for years that, especially in America, that the job of the male or the male ego has been to put the bacon on the table. And if I'm not working anymore, how can I do that? And so then they say, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Wild stuff. But how do you dig your way out of this? How do you dig your way out of cancer? How do you dig your way out of autoimmune diseases? It ain't rocket surgery. It's these things right here. You don't know how to do these things? Contact me. And by the way, you got to do all those. You can't just do that one and say, listen, I'm a vegan, and therefore I'm cool, and you don't exercise. Or you carry all the shit that goes on up here. Or your communication patterns suck. And you can't do just this, by the way. You want the best results in my office? I recommend you be adjusted on a regular basis. You be checked on a regular basis. You have your nervous system scans done on a regular basis. But by the way, it ain't all. I can help you with a lot of things, but if you are carrying all that stuff going on right there every single day, if you think life sucks or you have no one who loves you, you perceive no one loves you in your life, your nervous system scans aren't going to be good. That's just the way it is. That's just the way it is. But there's a simplicity to it. There's an absolute simplicity to being healthy. There is. You and I one time we did one of our talks here, and one of our guests was talking about how she likes to have this food, that food, that food, that food, because this. And I wrote on the board, I want you to repeat this. And I wrote on the board, I will stop justifying the shit out of everything. I will stop justifying the shit out of everything. How many of you do that on a regular basis? I do it with eating. Yeah, I'm thinking to myself, man, I have a great trainer. I go exercise on a regular basis. I'm Dr. Otto Janke. Look at me. Big deal. Big deal. Big deal. Digging your way out of it. There's a simplicity to health. And I'm hoping on a regular basis that when you listen to Otto in the AM, you realize there is a simplicity to health. There always has been. It's simple. It's not always easy. And that's the tough part. It's not always easy, but it's simple. And why it all matters, because we need to have you around rocking for the next 100 years. That's all. That's all. Any questions, comments, concerns? Give me a buzz. My friends at Coffee Mania, this is some Cortland blend in the Moose Cup. Hang on to your hat, batten down the hatches, and have a great Monday. The last week of February. Holy shit. Little update for you. Tomorrow, I am speaking at Jill Pace's classes up on Cortland State, talking about nutrition. On Wednesday, we are at the Alumni House, the Cortland State Alumni House, for our wellness fair. We'll be doing 2 hours there, in which we'll be talking about postures and nervous system scans and the best you. Just absolutely fundamental stuff. And then coming up, we are at Homer High School on the 18th, and then we're looking at the business showcase later on. We're going to be rocking. Hey, have a great Monday. Tell someone you love them too.